Dust motes danced in the beam of an errant sun ray. It sliced through the attic's gloom, illuminating a machine of brass and polished wood. Intricate gears and dials gleamed, whispering of forgotten ingenuity. Amelia, heart-pounding, traced the machine's outline with trembling fingers. This was it, the time machine, her grandfather's legacy. A single sheet of paper rested on the console, a date circled, July 4th, 1776. Amelia hesitated, then with a deep breath she set the date. The air crackled, the gears whirred. The world dissolved around her, replaced by a dizzying rush of light and sound. When it cleared, she found herself on a cobbled street, the air thick with anticipation. A man in a powdered wig rushed past, proclaiming the news the Declaration of Independence was to be signed that very day. Excitement thrummed through Amelia. She had done it. She had traveled through time. As she navigated the bustling streets of Philadelphia, she felt a thrill course through her veins. This was history in the making, and she was a first-hand witness. But amidst the celebration, a sinister undercurrent lurked. A group of men, faces grim, huddled in a nearby alleyway. Their whispers reached Amelia's ears, speaking of treason and a plot to silence a key figure in the movement for independence. Driven by a naive sense of justice, Amelia decided to intervene. She couldn't stand by and watch history unfold differently than it should. Amelia returned to her own time, a triumphant smile on her lips. She had saved a life, preserved the timeline. What could be better? But as the days passed, a creeping unease began to gnaw at her. The world was subtly off. The news reported a different president. Policies felt unfamiliar. Even the food tasted strange. Desperate for answers, Amelia consulted her grandfather's journals. The consequences of altering the past, however well-intentioned, were far more significant than she could have imagined. Her actions had created a ripple effect, altering the course of history in ways she couldn't have foreseen. Fear clawed at Amelia's throat. She had to fix this, restore the timeline to its original course. But how? The journals offered a glimmer of hope. Time travel was not a one-way street. She could go back again, undo her actions. The time machine beckoned, its gears humming with a promise and a threat. This time, Amelia's journey was fraught with urgency. She had to find the men in the alley, allow history to run its course. But the streets of 1776 seemed different now, the crowds unfamiliar, her sense of place shaken. The weight of her responsibility pressed down on Amelia. Each attempt to rectify her mistake only seemed to compound the problem, creating new and more perplexing paradoxes. She was trapped in a web of her own making, each thread a deviation from the true course of history. The faces of the people around her blurred, their lives mere pawns in her desperate game. Was it her place to interfere, even with the best of intentions? The enormity of her actions threatened to crush her. Exhausted and filled with doubt, Amelia stumbled upon a quiet corner of a bustling marketplace. She sank onto a bench, her head in her hands. It was then that she realized the answer had been there all along. She didn't need to undo her actions, only understand them. By saving one life, she may have altered the course of history, but not necessarily for the worse. The world was different, yes, but it was still a world where people lived, loved, and strived for a better future. She had created a ripple, not a wave, and perhaps that was enough. As she stepped back into the time machine, Amelia carried a newfound respect for the delicate balance of time. She had made a mistake, but she had learned from it.